as chairman of the SEC, do you consider yourself to be their daddy?
No.
Then why do you act like it?
I try to
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer, bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. I hope you had a little fun with my intro right there. Obviously, yesterday was the Gary Gensler, the chair of the SEC's meeting with the Senate, and they were supposed to grill him with tough questions. Not a whole lot came out of that meeting, but that was kind of like the highlight of the whole thing. So we'll touch topics on that briefly later. Otherwise, I wanted to take a peek at what's going on in the market right now. In yesterday's video, we were discussing about how the Bitcoin price chart in earlier 2021 is mimicking what we're seeing happening over here in the total market cap of all of crypto right now. And as we can see, when Bitcoin popped up here above this last retracement level, the 618 retracement level, that it did have a pullback in here. We also see that occurring over here with the total market cap. And one of the charts that we've been staring at a lot has been the IOTA price chart to show us what a recovery can look like in here. Matter of fact, just to see what the correction could even look like, that we'd have bounces, sideways, capitulation, double tap the bottom without setting a new low. Off it goes, right? And we've been studying this, and we've been showing how it went back up to the retracement levels. And then what happened? It got through the last retracement level, and then it pulled back deep in here, and then off it went. But as we could see, it got above the last retracement level. That's precisely what happened for Bitcoin in earlier 2021. That's precisely what we're seeing happening over here in the total market cap. So it's just kind of a waiting game at this point right now. And whether or not it is even following what did happen, right? If let's presume that it is going to follow, and we don't know if it's going to, but let's presume that it does, right? You would say that the total market cap's daily candle today would be like this little teeny tiny candle right here that we're on right now, would be just like that little candle right there for Bitcoin. And that, well, if it does follow along, and gosh, I hate predicting times. I'm not predicting time. I'm just kind of having fun with this. You see what's like right on the horizon, right? And that's kind of like what happened with IOTA right in here, right? It was once it was able to get a clear break. So you see we got above all retracement levels, pulled down, and then the clear break through the 702 sent it on its way. And so as you can see, we're below 702 again right now, looking for a clear break to take us out. So just a waiting game on there to see if we have some type of catalyst or something showing up in the next day or so. As for the XRP price chart, so we haven't been staring at this a whole lot over the last week or two, but we'll take a peek at it right now. It's really just following what's happening with the rest of the market. As we can clearly see on here, XRP did get pushed back from the 618 Fibonacci retracement level. So it's still just like the exact same stuff that I keep saying about it, is that, you know, as long as it's in this retracement and it's not breaking out, it's still just within consolidation. And it's hard to really make any type of judgment or any thoughts really on anything until all this stuff gets cleared out over here, until we can take out the last retracement level and then take out these tops over in here. Otherwise, it's just stuck in this big monster range in here. And this isn't tiny, right? I mean, you can go from the bottom all the way to the top of the range, 224%, and then all the way back down to the bottom of the range, negative 67%. So this is highly volatile of where we're at right now. And as long as we're stuck in it, it's hard to make any judgment of, you know, what's going to happen in here. We can look to the rest of the market and see what's happening, right? You see Bitcoin hasn't broken out. You see Ethereum hasn't broken out, but a lot of other altcoins have started to lead the way. Many coins have broken out into new all-time highs. So there's the optimism of that in there. In addition, if we look at where XRP is holding itself right now, it's right here above this level. And so like we were just talking about over there on IOTA, you see it, the double bounces, sideways capitulation, doesn't set a new low, pulls back up, pulling back into this area right in here. That's exactly what happened for IOTA back in here, back in this time period. You can see the level that it pulled back into right on top of these double bounces before the sideways capitulation, double bottom breakout. So structurally looking okay over here on the XRP price chart, since it is holding that level. But one of the things is we have actually been comparing this against the Bitcoin price chart and what happened with Bitcoin's correction and recovery that took place back in 2014, 15, 16. And just like that, I have it on the screen. So we could see the same things that happen in here, right? So there's your double bounces that occur right here underneath this initial price level. So you have the initial fall, breakdown, double bounces with your sideways and capitulation. And you can see that happening over here on Bitcoin back in a multi-year bear market. So this is just a couple of months over here for XRP. This is several years for Bitcoin right in here. Again, breaking down below this support level. It's exactly what happened for XRP up in here, breaking below the support level, double bouncing sideways, capitulation, accumulation with a big breakout. Now, what happened for Bitcoin? You can see where it pulled back into. You can see it pulled back into the price level of where the capitulation took place at. So if XRP did that, this is that spot where the capitulation took place at, right in here between 77 to 86 cents. So is it going to follow that? I don't know. That's the best kind of guess I can give for myself while we're still stuck in the ranges. We're stuck underneath all the retracement levels. It's just a complete guessing game. Are we going to the top of the range? Are we going to the bottom of the range? What kind of accumulation is taking place in here? And while it's the middle of September, right? There's been a lot of talk on that, something special's coming out in the middle of September. I don't know if that's true. I have absolutely no clue. I would assume any type of catalyst for XRP, like a relisting on Coinbase or a settlement with the SEC, would get this thing finally breaking out of the ranges. But for me to get really excited, it's about getting out of here. The thing is, like we were just talking about, these numbers are huge, right? XRP rose 170%. If it pulls back down into here to the price where it capitulated from, that's negative 40%. A lot of people can't handle that type of volatility, but that's how you get these multi-100% rises, is that they come with these big fat corrections as well. And so long as we're still ranging in here, so long as the prices are still stuck underneath the retracement levels, it's just a guessing game on where are we going within the retracement levels until it finally can crack through. So everything for me is really just a waiting game right now for XRP to get above $1.70. Gets above $1.70, that's when the real true excitement happens, because that's what happened in the past. We can see every time it has these corrections and consolidations in here. You can see how the 702 held it down, lots of consolidation, volatility all over the place. And finally, hey, gets up a little bit and then boom, cracks through it. Once it cracked through, it was on its way. Same thing happened back in here. Once it was able to get through the retracement levels, that's when it really sent it on its way. But as long as it's in here, just all types of accumulation taking place, and we're really, and just like, that's how sloppy it is at this point, waiting in here as we're underneath all the retracement levels. And I'm just trying to be patient in here, but I do understand as well, boy, there's so, like, this range is so giant. These percentages are not small. And for me, it's just holding on for dear life, like I always have with XRP. And for those who are maybe new to XRP or whatnot, I've been in here since, 2019 making the videos, but I've been in here since 2017. And even just making these YouTube videos, we've gone through the time periods where we've hit 11 cents, we've hit 13 cents, and buying into those time periods is what I've done. And here we are above $1, right? So it's good gains that it's been for me, but boy, it's been having to stomach a whole lot of volatility just getting to this moment in time. You can see there's been several times where I've, it's gone down huge. And even this time period right here, I was making YouTube videos. I think I started my YouTube channel right in here in November 2019, right? We've gone through time periods negative 67%, negative 78%, negative 73%. This is just part of this game, and that's just how big the volatility is in here. And you can see how many times we've had these massive negative numbers that have come in here, but in the end, off the lows, how high has the price risen to where it's currently at right now? It's up 859%, but there was a lot of stomaching through a lot of that volatility. And while we're just sitting here in the retracements, waiting for the price to get through them, and once it gets through them, I think it'll get really exciting once we can get through these. But until that point, all we have to do is look at how has the market behaved previously. We see over there in the examples of IOTA and how this market has been doing so far, that this can be a price level that can absolutely hold it and send it on its way. And we can see that this correction very much mirrors Bitcoin from back in 2014, 15, and 16. And in that circumstance for Bitcoin, it did pull back down into the capitulation area. So I'm just having to be patient so long as we're underneath here. Once we get above them, I'll start hooting and hollering. But let's move on and talk about our initial leader group, because a lot of things have been going on in here, right? We've been talking about Solana, Luna, and Cardano as the leaders of this market. It's because they're in the top 15. Cardano is number 3. I believe Solana is in the top 10, and Luna is like 12 or 15, somewhere around there. And we can see that Solana has continued marching to a full 4.236 extension. Luna continuing to march up. Cardano paused. This is what we saw happen for Litecoin back in 2017, which is what we've been comparing Cardano to so far. So looking to see that it can break out and doesn't have any further pullbacks. But it has been interesting that Cardano has not kept up with these leaders. Now, here's the thing. Are we going to see rotation between the actual leaders that are in the top of the market caps? Because something has happened with Solana as it has reached the 4.236 extension. Now, I don't find it ironic that these things happen when they do. Yesterday, Solana posted that Solana mainnet beta is experiencing intermittent instability. This began approximately 45 minutes ago, and engineers are investigating the issue. Then, Solana mainnet beta encountered a large increase in transaction load, which peaked at 400,000 transactions per second. These transactions flooded the transaction processing queue, and lack of prioritization of network critical messaging caused the network to start forking. And Solana went down. Not just the price action, but the entire network went down. All of this has occurred after it has reached out to a 4.236 extension. If you remember last week, we were talking about the S&P 500 and how the Federal Reserve presidents came out and said that they're selling all of their stocks for ethical reasons, just after the 4.236 extension gets hit. So you have Fed presidents day trading the markets, having insider access to information, and then they come out and say, we're going to be ethical now, and we're going to sell all of our stocks right at the 4.236 extension. And well, Solana hits a 4.236 extension, and now they're having problems with the network, right? The network's going down. Now, I don't know very much about Solana, so, I don't know all the technical stuff about it, but it's been a big issue over here on Twitter and huge discussions that there's a very serious problem that has happened over here with Solana. A lot of times when these things happen, I bring up the stuff of, are we living in a simulation, or is there some great grand plan that happens here? The fact that you can go out and reach these extensions and then these things happen. Solana's network goes down after it hits the 4.236 extension. Fed presidents become ethical suddenly at the 4.236 extension of the S&P 500 that took 12 years to get to. I don't know, but I'm not an investor in Solana, so it's not something that impacts me directly. The thing I look towards it and say is, well, we've been looking at this leader group for quite a while. Is there still more rotation that has to happen within the leader group? And as we can see here, Luna is about halfway marched up to that 4.236 extension, and yet Cardano is still lagging behind. Are we going to see some rotation happen in there? Either way, my suspicion is that this entire leader group right here will finish their bull runs way before a lot of the rest of the market will. And I think there's some stuff that may already be done that has gone on to huge extensions and huge bull runs. Like, for example, I do not think Doge is going to set a new all-time high. If it set a new all-time high, I would be in absolute complete disbelief. I do believe Doge is already in a massive bear market at this point. That's guaranteed to get me some thumbs downs on this video, but that's the reality of it. But my point being is that I think this group right here will likely, based on how this market has worked previously, top out before a lot of other stuff does. Whether that's true, I don't know, but that's how this market has behaved before. So we'll see. But anyway, Solana has now hit a full extension, and as they hit the full extension just a couple of days later, boom, their network goes down. So eyes are now on these guys right in here to see what are they going to start doing. But the thing that's really on my target right now and what I'm paying attention to the most is this thing going to play out? Are we about to have something really interesting happen in the cryptocurrency market within the next couple of days and send this thing on its way? So this is really where my focus is, and I'm just kind of being patient right now, and we'll see how all the different altcoins and cryptos react when something like this plays out, if it does play out. But as you can see here, we've drawn it all out. We've shown where it's at. If it's following that, just like following IOTA, and it's followed it up until this point, looking for some type of big breakout to come in the whole market. Now, I said I would touch topics on this. I really will touch on it super brief. Yesterday, Gary Gensler, the chair of the SEC, spoke in front of the Senate. And really, it was just like kind of what I expected. Lots of softballs tossed, lots of fastballs right down the middle, and nobody really threw any curveballs. And even when he kind of set himself up to where a follow-up question would have been like put the nail in the coffin, nobody would ask the question. So it really felt like a lot of this was scripted, especially the stuff, the interaction between him and Senator Elizabeth Warren. That was painful to watch. That was incredibly obvious that it was super scripted. The acting coming out of Elizabeth Warren was ridiculous. In the end, nothing really came out of this whole thing except for our funny little clip of, do you think that you're their daddy? And then I'll touch on this really quick, but it does appear that we're finally starting to get some coverage of what's going on here with XRP and Ripple and Jay Clayton dropping the lawsuit on his his last day, then going to work for competitor Ethereum, and it's starting to get some mainstream media momentum. So hopefully this can continue. Charles Gasparino has caught wind of everything. I know a lot of people have been trying to get his attention, like digital asset investor John Deaton. So good job for getting this guy's attention. He joined Fox Business Network in February of 2010 as senior correspondent. And while hopefully this can get some bigger publicity of what's been going on here with this whole craziness that has happened with the SEC and Ripple and how it's impacted us as XRP holders. But otherwise, that really kind of covers everything for today. And really, I'm just sitting back patiently waiting to see, is this going to play out? And on that note, I hope that you guys are having a great week so far. It's halfway. It's Wednesday, my dudes. If you're looking for something to do, you can check out my website over here, which is bcbacker.com. This is a course that I put together where I deep dive into the previous Bitcoin bull runs, the different altcoin market cycles, tying them all together to show how this market has worked in the past and the extensions it's reached out to in the past. I talk about my personal exit plans in here and teach you how to set up your own charts and your own indicators within TradingView and CoinTrader Pro so you can do your own charting. Talk about a lot about mathematics and percentages and why those things are so important to me. And I did include a market update in here recently on August 31st, which is available to anybody who's already enrolled in the course and anybody who newly enrolls. And you can check out all of this educational content over here on bcbacker.com. You can follow me over here on Twitter at bcbacker, and I want to thank you so much for watching my channel. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you could be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor, but if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.